Hello and welcome. Today I'm going to play Blitzkrieg 1929, 16 Armored Corps, and this is going to be the last battle of the campaign series in this game, and it is Battle of Warsaw. This is not the last scenario from this game, because there are a couple of more scenarios covering fights near Sochachev in the middle of September, but this is the last scenario from the mini-series that covers the first part of the battle trail of the German 16 Armored Corps. And in these scenarios, it is pretty important to remember that the losses from the previous battles have to be carried on into the next battles. So this is the last battle of the German armored units in this game, and we are going to use German 4th Armored Division here. German attack on Warsaw was something very typical for the German fast units in the World War II. It wasn't fully planned. Simply, German 4th Armored Division reached the outskirts of the city, and German commander decided that this is opportunity to capture enemy capital in a very short time and to end probably the war, because it is usually that if you capture the enemy capital, the war is over. So if Germans would be able to capture the capital of Poland in the 9th of September, it will be the end of campaign in about 10 days. So, something impressive. So Germans were eager to make such a daring move, but they were already quite aware that their armored division, although highly effective in the normal battles, can have problems with fighting in the major cities, and Warsaw was definitely a big city. So when German units recognized and found the Polish defensive positions, they launched their attack very early. German 4th Division tried to fight for the city for about the entire day, and at the initial stage of the battle, German tanks managed to drive inside the city, but soon they found that the Polish defense is better than they expected. This is quite a paradox, because Polish defense wasn't fully prepared for such attack. There were many of the improvised units used in this battle, and Polish commandership was far from being perfect. Even so, Poland quickly found that tanks, although deadly in the open space, can be quite easily eliminated, especially with the positions of the well-camouflaged anti-tank guns and even normal ordnance, because regular guns were also quite effective as anti-tank guns, and especially on the close range. Along with grenades and battles with gas, Poles found that they can fight German tanks quite effective in these tight streets. So, after all-day battle and some serious losses, German 4th Division had to retreat without being able to capture the city all by itself. The scenario I'm going to play today covers this daring German attack on Warsaw. We are going to use 4th Armored Division only, and you can already tell the problem. Germans have only 2 infantry units. These aren't much, and when you are fighting in the city, you need infantry. So that was one of the reasons that the German assault failed. And Germans have no aircraft in this scenario, and they have to use the 4th Division with losses from the 4 previous battles: Mokra, Ostrowy, Piotrków and Tomaszów. So you can guess that this division is not as strong as it was in the past. Now you can see it is their strength, and you can see that they suffered some losses in the previous battles. So now let's check for the victory conditions. Game covers the entire day, so 3 turns, 2 daily turns and 1 night turn. And now, at the end of the day, Germans get 4 victory points for each hex of Warsaw they control. and Poles get 1 point for each hex of Warsaw they control, and 1 point for each town or village hex they control. So for Poles it is pretty important to control as much hexes as possible, while for Germans it is important to capture at last couple of Warsaw hexes. It won't be easy. As you probably remember, tanks have their strength halved when they are fighting in the city. They cannot use stars, and well, you need infantry, and Germans lack of infantry. They have 2 infantry battalions and 1 engineer company. So this might be not enough to capture the Warsaw, but even capturing a couple of hexes might be a German victory. Why? Because it might be a good start for the further attacks on Warsaw when more of the German units will arrive. At last, that would probably happen if Germans would succeed in capturing only a half of Warsaw at 9th of September 1939. But they failed, and it resulted with about 2 weeks longer siege of Warsaw. But that's another story, and let's focus on the game itself. And first of all, there is no supply rules in this scenario, but Poles have to place 2 minefields on the board. So like before, I'm going to take 6 counters of mines. 2 of them are real mines and 2 of them are fake, 4 of them are fake mines and 2 of them are real minefields. So I'm going to shuffle them now and I'm going to set them up. So I will place one of them here, there, here. Oh, let's shuffle it up back again. All right, here, there, and there. So that's the Polish defensive positions, and we are ready to start the game. So, what would be German plan? I think that this part of the Warsaw gives us higher chances of successful attack. This part is better defended, and hope that attacking here might be more effective. It won't be easy because they are all fortified, and this is bad. Also, they are all in the city, and this provides -2 modifier plus fortification. It provides -3 modifier for the defenders. So it won't be a walk in the park to capture at last few hexes of the city, but I think if I will be able to capture these 4 or 5 hexes, it would give me about 16-20 victory points, and this might be enough to gain a victory. So that's the plan. But well, you know, plans are always working best when they are plans, but when they are turning into real battle, this situation changes. As a German player, I wish I would have some air support. It would be definitely easier to attack Poles with the help of the aircraft, but well, you never have everything you need. So let's go and start our game. So I will use one of these battalions. These are 35 tanks regiment to move. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. Now I will use my combat engineers to recon this hex, and let's see what kind of mines we have here. These are fake mines, okay? And now I will drive my other tank battalion here so I can attack this area. Let me check. I will use this tank battalion. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so that's the plan. And now these two tank battalions. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And they are moving here. All right, so that's my attack, and now my support. So I will use this infantry and that infantry to protect this area, because I have my artillery here. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so they have to move closer, so they will be able to support German actions. This and that goes here, and that's all when it comes to the German movement. I'm not launching any attacks from the march, because attacking onto the city with attacks from the march would be, well, very risky, and I would rather like to avoid such risk, because, well, I need to capture at last few hexes of the Warsaw to win this scenario. So let's start here. German battalion attacks this Polish battalion. They have 16 versus 3. And now Poles are calling for artillery support. So this artillery is going to support them. Let me find its strength. It has 4, so it's 2. So it will be 5 versus 16, so it will be 3-1. 2-1 because of the fortification, 1-1 and 1-2 because of the city. So it is 1-2 for Germans, and 4, not bad. This is nothing, so neither side has to retreat. And now let's calculate the losses. Germans had 16 and 1, 2, 3 down, so it's 4-5. 6 in the 4-5, no losses for Poles, and Poles had 5 plus 3, 60-20. Oh, 16-20 and 2, these are 2 losses for Germans. That's bad. I will mark it to remember about it. And now them. They are attacking here, and they have... I need to check, because these units also probably suffered some losses in the battle before. So anti-tank guns have 3, motorized battalion had 4, so they have 8, and now 2nd of 36 has 16. So it's 7 plus 16, so it will be 23. So 23 versus 3 and 2. So it's 23 versus 5. So it will be 5-1 and 4-1 because of the fortification, 3-1, 2-1 because of the city. So it is 2-1 and 7. 2-1 and 7, this is B1. So Polish unit has to retreat somewhere, but it cannot, because there is enemy zone of control on this hex, so they cannot retreat there. It can retreat here, but it will cost them 1 point loss, because they have to retreat through the friendly unit, but in the enemy zone of control. So they suffer 1 loss, and German tanks are riding onto this hex. And now let's calculate the losses. Germans had 23, and this is minus 3, so 1, 2, 3, 6, 10, and 8 in the 6, 10, this is 1 loss, and Polish unit had 3 plus 3, so it will be 11, 15. 9 in the 11, 15. 1 loss for Germans. So that's all when it comes to this combat. Okay, let's go here. I will use this battalion and I will provide support with this artillery. So they will have 19 plus 4, so it's 23 versus 3, and this artillery will support them, so it provides 3. So it's 23 versus 6, it will be 4 to 1, and 3 to 1 because of the fortification, 2 to 1, 1 to 1 because of the city. So it is 1 to 1. 5. In the 1 to 1, this is B1, so Poles have to retreat 1 hex. They retreat there, so German tanks are riding inside Warsaw. And now let's check for the losses. Germans had 23, so 21, 25, 1, 2, 3, 6, 10 Polish losses. 7 in the 6, 10, no loss for Poles. And Poles had 5 plus 3, it is 60, 20. And 5 in the 16, 20, 1 loss for Germans. And the final attack. 2nd Battalion of the 35 Regiment has 7, 13 and 19, so they also have 19. 19 plus 4 will be 23, and there are combat engineers who have 1, so it's 24. First of all, I need to fire with my anti-tank guns on Germans. They have 0, but they are in the city, so they get 2, and in fortification, so they get 3. So this is they are firing with plus 3 strength. And 9 in 3. I think this is a hit, but let me check. No, this is a miss. Okay, so that's bad. That's unlucky, and let's roll for the destruction. Nothing. So now we can check for combat. So we have 24 versus 4. So 24 versus 4 is 6 to 1, 7 to 1 because of the combat engineers, 6 to 1 because of the fortification, 5 to 1, 4 to 1 because of the city. So it's 4 to 1. To 1 and 6, it will be B2. So Poles have to retreat 2 hexes, and they cannot, because all the hexes are in the enemy zones of control or controlled by the enemy. So these 2 units have to suffer 2 losses. So this anti-tank gun is eliminated, and this Polish battalion suffers 2 losses. And now let's check for the losses after combat. Germans had 21, 25. 1, 2, 3, 6, 10, and 4 in the 6, 10. This is 1 loss for Germans. So for Poles. And now German losses. Poles had 4, 1, 2, 3, 60, 20, 7, 1 loss for Germans. So I will mark it into tables now, since these are all German attacks. So, Poles, what are they going to do? Well, they have to start fortifying their 2nd line. So this unit fortifies itself here, and these tanks are going to help them along with this infantry battalion. I will leave this tank company here for if there will be any more complicated situation. Now this battalion moves 1, 2, 3, 4. This battalion goes enters the board here. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I think that's all when it comes to Poles. They are not attacking anywhere, of course, so we can bring artillery back to normal. Here, here, and there. And this concludes day one of the battle. So, turn one of the battle. So Germans have control over only 2 hexes of Warsaw so far. Well, nothing impressive and definitely not enough to gain any good result. Okay, so we have turn 2, and what the Germans are going to do? Well, I will have to fight them, since I want to destroy this Polish battalion here, so I will be able to seize this hex. But I want to get more, because holding 2 or 3 hexes might not be enough. So they will attack here, by all means, they want to do so. And now, this group from here, do I want them to join this attack, or do I want them to use? Do I want to use them somewhere else? So I think these anti-tank guns will be used here as well. These motorcycles will ride here. Now these tanks. I have 3 tank companies here, and I will leave one of them onto this hex to guard this hex, and this is 135. So second company is the weakest, so it will remain here to control this hex, while the other 2 companies will ride here. They will try to attack these poles and to capture 2 more hexes, or at last 1 hex of Warsaw. We will see if it's possible. Might be hard, but I guess it won't hurt to try. So that's all when it comes to the German movement. Artillery has everything in range, so it will be helpful. And now this unit will fortify itself, and this infantry battalion will go here, while that infantry battalion will ride 1, 2, 3, and they have to stop here. So that's all when it comes to the German movement, and we can go into the German combat phase. So now, these 2 groups are attacking here, so this is first 36 and second 36, so they have 15 and 16. 15 and 16 will be 31, and plus 3 we have 34 versus 1 and 4 and 6. So it's 34 versus 6. It will be 5, 6 to 1. 5 to 1 because of the fortification, 4 to 1, 3 to 1 because of the town. So it's 3 to 1 and oh hell! 3 to 1 and 10, this is A1. So attackers have to retreat 1 hex. Damn, that's bad. Well, historically accurate, but still bad. So Poles are pursuing here. Now let's check for losses. Germans had 34, so it's 31, 35, 1, 2, 3, 60, 20. Polish losses 5. In the 16-20, 1 loss for Poles, so this unit can be eliminated since it had only 1 point left. And German losses, Poles had 6, 1, 2, 3, 21, 25, and 6. 1 loss for Germans. Okay, that was unlucky. Next, here. Second of 35 has 18 plus 5, 18 plus 5, 23, and 24 for the combat engineers. So this is 24 versus 2 and 4. So it's 24 versus 4. It will be 6 to 1, 7 to 1 because of the combat engineers, 6 to 1 because of the fortification, 5 to 1, 4 to 1 because of the city. So it's 4 to 1 and 5. 4 to 1 and 5. It will be B2. So Polish unit has to retreat 2 hexes. Of course it cannot. So it suffers 2 losses. And it is still alive, but well, it's bad. Now we have to roll for the losses. The Germans had 21, 24, 1, 2, 3, so it's 6, 10. And 10 in the 6, 10, oh, just 1. So this unit has 1 point left, but it's still alive, with last remaining point. And now the German losses. Poles had 4, 1, 2, 3, 60, 20, and 6, 1 loss for Germans. Alright, and my final attack goes here. This is quite a risky attack, but I will try it anyway. So they have 7 and 6, so 13. 13 plus 10, it will be 23. 23 versus 2 and 3, so 5 and 8. So it's 3 to 1, 2 to 1 for fortification, 1 to 1 and 1 to 2 for the city. So it is 1 to 2. Let me wait. No, because this unit is fortified, this unit is not, and majority of the defenders is here, are here, because this unit has 3 and this unit has 2. So we don't have to include fortifications. So it is not -1 but 0. So this is 1 to 1. 5. In the 1 to 1 this is B1, so Poles have to retreat 1 hex. And the German battalions are riding here, maybe like that. Alright, so this concludes German actions. Oh, first of all, let's roll for the losses. And this will be 21, 25 for Germans, and 1, 2. It's 11, 15 for Polish losses. 7 in the 11, 15. 1 loss for the Polish units. And Poles had 8. 6, 10. 1, 2, 3. 21, 25. And 5 in the 21, 25. 2 losses for Germans. So that's bad. Okay, so that's the situation at the end of the second German combat phase. Well, they gained definitely some successes, capturing these 2 hexes. They failed completely. They not only were able to capture this hex, but they also lost that hex. That's bad. And well, they failed to destroy this Polish unit completely. So I don't think that German attack is going to be very successful. Well, that's my idea for now. So, what Poles are going to do? Well, this battalion will fortify itself here, protecting the outskirts of the city. This one will join him. And now I would like to drive Germans away of here. Not sure if it is possible, but I will try it anyway. So I will carry my tanks there. And I will try to counterattack there. And well, that's all when it comes to the Polish actions, and time for Germans, for Poles to resolve their attack. So let's calculate Polish strength. And first we can resolve fire combat between these two tank companies. Polish tanks have a strength of 1 versus armor of 2, so it will be -1, and -2, -3 because of the city, so it will be this is second company, so it can fire twice with -3. So it can hit only if they roll or natural 2. 1, 2, nothing. And German tanks have 2 versus 2, so it's 0, but -2 because of the city, so they hit with natural with 2 or 3, and they fire 2 times. 1, 2, nothing. So that's all when it comes to the fire combat, and now we can resolve regular combat. So Poles had 5, but these are tanks, and tanks fighting on the city hex have their strength halved. So they have 3, 7, 9, 12, and 15. So Poles have 15 versus 6, but like I said, tanks are halving their strength, so they have 3. So this is 6 versus 3, so it will be 5 to 1, 2 to 1, 3 to 1 because of the city. So it is 3 to 1. Oh my, 11. A1, attackers has to retreat 1 hex. Oh hell. So I was certain that this is going to be successful Polish attack, and looks like I was wrong. So German tanks are riding here in pursuit, and now let's check for the losses. Germans had 3 plus 2, this is 6, 10. So Polish losses are amazing too. And Poles had 15, -2, 4, 5, and 3. 1 loss for German tanks. Okay, that was spectacular. I am quite surprised. I never expected this particular combat will end like that. But looks like that the Germans are doing better than I ever expected. They will. So this concludes turn 2. So that's an unexpected turn of events. I am really surprised that they weren't able to drive these German tanks away. So we are starting turn 3, the last turn, and this is night turn. Well, the night turn is the moment when you rather want to stop your advance. But even so, I will go on. Now, what I'm going to do. All the units can move only 1 hex or 2 movement points. So, these tanks will fortify themselves. They are not going to attack any further. It would be pointless. This infantry battalion goes here. And do I want to attack here? Well, it will be something extremely risky, but even so I will try to. I will send my combat engineers and 1 tank company here, and them, well, sorry, I made a mistake, they should stay here, and they are going to attack this Polish battalion. It is already weakened. Oh, and one more thing, this German tank company fortifies itself there. So that's all when it comes to the German movement, and let's go to the German. Oh, they want to move, and let's go to the German attacks. So let's resolve German attacks. These 2 groups are attacking here, so we have to remember that they have to halve their strength. So this is 3, 6, and 9. So this is 9 versus 1, so it's 9 to 1, and minus 3 because of the fortifications and the city, it will be 6 to 1. And roll for the modifiers in the night combat. Oh, plus 2! Fantastic! It would be even better if we would roll it here, but no, this is plus 2, so we have 8 to 1. And 4 in the 8 to 1, it will be B3. So this unit is eliminated. And we can enter this hex and that hex. Oh no, sorry. We only eliminated enemy units, so we can only enter this. I need to check, but I am quite positive that I can only occupy the hex which was occupied by the enemy. No, I can capture the hex occupied by enemy, and I can move 2 hexes more, but I need to care about enemy zones of control. So I can only move here. I cannot move any further, and this infantry goes here. So that's all. And now this attack. Well, this is going to be harder because they all of these units have to have their strength. So it's 3, 4, 7, 9, 9 plus 3, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24 and 27. So it's 27 versus Polish units, 3 and 6. So it will be 4 to 1 and 5 to 1 because of the combat engineers. Now a roll for the night attack. Nothing. So this is still a 5 to 1. 4 to 1 because of the fortification. 3 to 1, 2 to 1 because of the city. So it's 3 to 1 and 9. That's not a good roll. 3 to 1 and 9. This is B1. So defenders cannot retreat, so they have to suffer one loss each. But it won't hurt them much. And now losses after combat. Germans had 31, 35, minus 3, so it will be 16, 20. 7, 16, 20. 1 loss for Poles only, nothing serious. And Poles had 6, plus 3, 21, 25, and 6. 1 loss for Germans as well. So let me mark this loss because this is just a single loss, and this concludes German attacks. So I think Germans did pretty well. And now Poles. Okay, they are in the very problematic situation, and if they want to win this scenario, I think they have to push these Germans out of here. So I will move these units here. Yes, night attacks are extremely dangerous, so I'm not sure if it will work, but well, I have a not other chance. So I will even move my battalion from here to join this attack, hoping to push Germans back. We will see if this will work. So that's all. Well, they don't have much chance to perform any attacks. They are going simply to defend their positions. And now we are going to resolve this attack. So just like before, Poles have to halve their strength because they are attacking. So this is 3, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10, 12. So they have 12 versus 3, 1, 36. sorry, 31, 35, 5. So this is 2-1 and 1-1 because of the city is fortification, 1-2 versus because of the town, and 1-3 because of the town. So it is 1-3. Oh, sorry, my mistake. I made a mistake. Why? Yes, because these are tanks, so they have to halve their strength if they are fighting on the city hex. So they have 3. So it will be 4-1, and minus 3, it will be 1-1. Oh, first a roll for the knight attack. 4, nothing, and 5. In the 1-1, this is B1. Okay, they made it. German tanks are retreating 1 hex. So that's all. And now let's calculate the losses. Poles had 11-15, minus 3, it's 2-3. No losses for Germans, and Germans had 3, plus 3, 11-15, 7, 1 loss for the Poles. Okay, and this concludes the final turn of the scenario. Now we can calculate the victory points. So, after calculating victory points, Germans have 24 and Poles had 22. So this is a marginal German victory. Even so, they did better than they did in the history. I mean, they are still holding the positions in Warsaw, but they weren't able to drive deeper into the city. They are still fighting on the outskirts of the city, but none of their units managed to drive into the heart of Warsaw. So that's good for Poles. But, well, Germans are still in Warsaw. So if there would be some, for example, infantry division on the nearby, then Poles might have serious troubles with driving Germans off, and Germans would be able to capture Warsaw in the next 1 or 2 days. So it will probably end the war, the Polish campaign, before the half of the September. So that's all for this short scenario, and that's all for today. Thank you for watching, and this is the end of the campaign because, like I said, we are going to finish the campaign with this scenario. So we can also check for the possible losses of the German armored divisions. You can see that they suffered losses. Most of the battalions from the 4th Armored Division have their strength to about half. Some lost a third part of their strength, so they are definitely weaker than they were at the beginning of the game, of this campaign. But even so, they are still able to fight, and none of the German divisions lost any unit. So I think that's pretty important. While they did their job pretty well. Of course, this is not a job for armored division to fight in the cities. This attack was, like history proved, rather pointless. But from the other hand, that was the way how Germans managed to capture, for example, Belgrade during Yugoslavian campaign, where a lot of Yugoslavian units still concentrated in the capital of Yugoslavia, but German motorized units drove into the Belgrade and forced Yugoslavian government to surrender. So sometimes it worked, but the Poles were desperate to defend their capital. They have a good tradition in their history to defend Warsaw against enemy invasions, and it turned out to be almost 2 weeks long bloody siege of Warsaw. So that's all for today. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.